Two grumpy men in the building. See Grooms and Bobby May. What it do?
What it do? What it do? Let's
All
go.
right.
Let's get it, bro.
Back for another one.
Mm-hmm.
Climbing up the charts slowly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's a lot going on. Yeah, 2020 has been crazy. But,
Crazy, yeah.
crazy, very crazy, yeah. But let's focus right now. I got to defend. I got to defend Ice Cube. You know what I mean? I feel like I got to defend him for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Um, I don't know why either, because I know better than to trust an entertainer when it comes to politics, because there's always an angle there. You know what I mean? I had to think about their role when he was with NWA. I thought about their role in hip hop and how they was strategically placed, in 1988 to kind of fuck up the conscious vibe that was going on, in hip hop, because we was taking it up a notch. We had all these conscious groups that was coming through. And I think Rakim had came out with an album in '88, and he was like, it was about to be the pinnacle, Eric B. and Rakim. And everybody, then, Poor Righteous Teachers, like, it was just a bunch of stuff out there. So then NWA came out, Bow, Now, granted, they was talking about things that was going on, on the West Coast and things of that nature. But, they got dubbed gangster rap. So you're from that, you know what I mean? Like, you're from that whole mix. So I don't really know why I'm defending him other than the man trying to put his ideas and his plan out there. He should be able to break it down a little more, I guess. But he looked okay on CNN. But when he was with Roland Martin, he looked kind of deer in the headlights, you know what I mean, which is the day before. So I don't know. His plan is a mixture. If you look at Biden's plan, you look at Trump's plan,
Mm-hmm.
they both have some of the things that Ice Cube had wrote in in his black contract,
Mm-hmm.
with America. But you know how I feel about the word black and all this. He's talking about American descendants of slaves. So you think about the irony legally, and a slave has no rights. So you're a descendant of a slave, and they're calling you legally black. So
Mm-hmm.
you're in a dead status regardless. So how are they going to pay their property? What are they going to do? Up their insurance?
Basically,
I don't
maybe,
know.
maybe, you don't
I
know,
don't know,
nigga.
man. I'm just saying. I don't talk to me, man, because I don't know no more, man.
Dude, I mean, I think it's just, it's one of the weirdest. It's really weird. Like, I think a lot of things that black people do nowadays are just weird. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that everybody wants to be politically correct, or they have the, they got the right answer to, and their answer is basically, you know, either you agree with the mass, or you basically, they're gonna cancel you, you're a traitor, or whatever, they sell out, whatever it is they're gonna call you. So, it's like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, Biden's plan, Trump's plan, whatever it is, it's just words on paper. They hollow. Them shits don't have. They don't stand for anything because they're not put into action. And the same way Roland Martin was asking him questions and saying, well, it's not basically saying black people or sentence a slave or whatever you want to say. It's saying people of color. People of color can be Chinese people, can be Spanish people, can be Arab people. You know what I mean? It could be Native American.
Right,
All those
right.
people are considered people of color. And then it always says people. It says people of color and women. So once again, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't say, specifically that it's going to put money in the hands of the black community, and who is going to, because why? Because it's just a plan. It's just an outline, basically. These are just outlines. It's not something that they're pushing. It's just something to make them look good in this climate. So the words don't mean anything because there's no action behind it as of yet. It's just this is what we would like to tell you we're going to do, but we're not sure we're going to be able to do it and all and shit like that. Like, you know, give you all this money to put in. You know, you're saying you're going to put up 500 million or whatever it is, but it's not saying, yo, we're going to put up 500 million in urban communities and all over the country, like, and starting with places in Chicago and Brooklyn and Newark and Atlanta and, you know, Miami and all these other cities, Houston's or LA and all in these places where, you know, and you know, just all the places where it's urban and mainly a majority of black people live at. And help develop in those areas. It's just, you know, so I mean, yes, Roland Martin had, you know, he made points, but I mean, Cube once again is he's trying something. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to cause action. He's trying to put action, do something to move action forward, to get a discussion going, to bring these people to the table, to understand that, you know, and let black people see that, yo, we need to, our vote is powerful. So if we're going to give our vote, we need to get something in return for our vote. That's basically what he's saying. That's all he's really saying.
Right.
Who's coming to the table to talk to me is what he's trying to find out, right? Again, a lot of times you're going to have people on shows and they may not, you know, he may not have, you know, a lot of times people come on shows, they get prepped for shows. They get prepped to ask questions. They find out what the question's going to be so they can have the right answers, so they can look well, so they can look like they know, you know what I'm saying, so they can have their responses ready to go. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, he's doing this shit on the fly. So, yeah, he may not have looked at it, may not have sounded the way people wanted to sound, but at the end of the day, what is any of these other motherfuckers doing besides telling you to go out and vote for Biden just so they can say that they got rid of Trump? Okay, what else are you doing? Like, that can't be our end all. That can't be our end all. That can't just be we're happy and satisfied like that's a win for us. That's not a win. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to be a win for us. So what? You know what I'm saying? You remove Trump and you get Biden in there. What is Biden going to do? Biden has been a politician for damn near 50 years. For damn near 50 years. Right? He
Absolutely.
was vice president. Where was this program and plan 50 when he was 8 years in the White House? And you had a black president there. Why didn't you, as a senior to him, be like, yo, I think you need to put this plan into action so for the people, for, you know what I'm saying? No. Where was all that at? Like, why are we giving him credit? Like, oh, he was there 8 years with Obama. So what? What did they do? What have they done? What did they do? Like, when you ask people that, then they start telling you, well, he couldn't do anything. Obama couldn't do anything because they didn't have the House, the Senate, or whatever. But when he first came in his first term, Democrats did have that shit. And he was talking that bipartisan shit. Like, let's come together and work together. And you was on limited time basis when you got there. So if you had everything in your favor when you came through the door, you were supposed to push all those agendas that you needed because you had the House, you had everything. But you didn't. You didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Then the Republicans basically took over the House, the Senate, and all that, and the Congress the following term, and he was just basically a sitting duck president because they wasn't going to pass anything.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just the same way how you was on your term, on your way out, and Obama, I'm talking, and you had a nomination for Supreme Court. They didn't do nothing. They're like, nah, we ain't even thinking about that shit. We're gonna wait till after the election to see who wins. Then we'll talk about Supreme Court shit. Right?
Yep.
So, but now here they are. Their man is on the way out. That's how it's looking. and they're pushing their nominee through. Why? Because they run the House. And as this is what Democrats do. Is what we said, what I've always said, is that they're weak and they only do shit for show. That's always been my issue with Democrats. They do shit for show to act like they doing something for the people. Yeah, we voted against this bill. That bill was never going to fucking pass any fucking way. But you voted no to make you look good on your record. So you can say that come election time you did this. But it still passed, right? You didn't have, you couldn't stop it. You didn't do anything. You didn't have the votes. So it didn't matter if you voted no to it, because it wasn't going to pass any. It wasn't going to stop any fucking way.
It was going to get through regardless.
Exactly. You put on this grandstand right now with this Supreme Court nominee, and it's all for show. Yeah, you can't stop it. You don't stop. You can't stop shit.
You don't have the votes to stop it.
You don't have the votes. So, so once again, it's just a show. And that's all it is. It's just a fucking show. That's all it is. It's just a fucking show. It ain't no, they show Kamala Harris giving all this long speech and that shit don't mean nothing. You don't have the votes to stop this shit. This is all formalities. It's all formalities. That's all it is. Cause you nigga, you weak. Y'all threaten all these things. Oh, if you try to push this through, we're gonna do the filibuster. We're gonna do all this. You ain't going to do shit. It's all talk. So that's why it leads you to believe when you see Joe Biden talk about, well, here's his Lift Every Voice plan, it's all talk. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. He wrote a nice 16-page little paper and shit. Trump gave you a nice little flyer, 2-page flyer, his platinum plan. Like he giving platinum, like it's gold, like it's, fuck gold. It's the platinum plan. I know y'all like that platinum talk, It's all bullshit, bro. It's all bullshit. And at the end of the day, when you out here, when you see black people ready to throw their own away because they're trying to make a play, this has always been our problem. It's always been our problem. You ready to turn on a motherfucker because he don't want to do what you want him to do. He can't think for himself. He not a grown man. If that's the move he want to play, that's his play. You don't know if it's working or we don't know it's not working. We don't know. We don't know who's going to win. What we do know is that the Democrats told them, we'll talk to you after the election. We'll talk to you after the election. Trump said, okay, that's what they told you. We'll beat them to the punch. Let's talk to him now because it's a show for him.
No doubt.
So yeah, let's use some of the what he saying there. Add on to the little flyer we got and put it out. This is our platinum plan for the community. Some bullshit.
Named it
but
platinum.
Once again, that man stated that Cube stated, I didn't meet with none of them. I never, you know what I'm saying? We gave them our 13-point plan, our contract. This is what we was looking for. They took some of the shit and put it in their shit. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
So how come people can't understand that?
Because all they want to understand is, we want Trump gone and this, that, and the third. And if you say anything remotely the news spins it. That's why he went on CNN and corrected Cuomo, because Cuomo spun it like, you ran to the Republican Party. Like he said, I ain't run nowhere. I didn't do anything. They reached out to me. And I spoke to them like I would have spoken to the Democrat. I'm gonna speak to whoever talked to me and listen to my shit, because I'm trying to get this moving forward. That's it. That's all. That's it. Yeah, I gave you took some of my ideas from off of that shit, but it's still hollow. It don't mean that shit gonna go through. It don't mean it's gonna get passed. Don't know if you even gonna win. That ain't gonna get you votes. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't guaranteed you're going to put none of that shit into effect. So, what did he do wrong? I mean, he said from the beginning, hold your vote.
He did.
Right? He said hold your vote. People was mad at that. So, all right. So, he came up with why are we going to hold our vote? We don't got a plan. So, he came up with a plan.
Right.
Now, he got a plan. Y'all still mad. Because what he said, I'm going to talk to whoever want to fuck with my plan.
Yeah, and he had to talk to the president because that's who's in charge at the moment.
That's what he's in charge. He's the president. He's the president right this moment, and he's running an election that he's trying to win. So he's gonna talk to him just like he would have talked to Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? But it's the arrogance again of the Democratic Party to brush shit off like it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got it in the bag. We know you niggas gonna vote for us. You don't want no more of this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just the arrogance. Same shit happened the last time with Hillary Clinton. She thought she had shit in the bag. There's no way that this idiot from reality TV is gonna beat me. Well, guess what? That idiot beat you. A world who you was a lifelong politician, you and your husband, and this idiot from reality TV beat you.
Well, and he didn't even beat her. The powers that be put their minds together and through the electoral college and said, "Yo, we don't want you. That's it. You're done."
No, they didn't want him because it was money time. It was time to give money. They had enough of this shit. They had 8 years of this black man in office and all this shit. Time, fuck all that shit. We need to get a grip back on this country and get our money before this shit all go to shit. And that's all it was. Trump was about the paper. Trump is about the paper. That's it. He a businessman. Yes, he got failed business, but he's still a businessman. Most motherfuckers who got businesses have failed. That's part of being a businessman.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? That's part of doing business. So, you know, once again, bro, it's all bullshit. Like, it's all a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, when you see the rhetoric and the shit people are saying, it's like, yo, what do y'all want? Like, nobody else, you know, y'all praise all these other motherfuckers. All they doing is talking about we gonna get buses to take people to the polls. What? We don't got no fucking plan. How you gonna demand shit with no plan?
Right.
How you gonna demand shit and ain't got a plan? How you gonna want shit changed and ain't got a plan?
Somebody told me what has he done to deserve to stay in office? A mutual friend of ours, like he said that. Well, what has he done? What has he done to be able to stay in office? Like, why shouldn't we vote him out? Trump. Like, why should he stay in office? What has he done that he should be able to stay?
It just depends on who you're asking. Like, if you're a business, a small business, or any kind of business, you want them tax breaks. So, like, people are not voting. Like, a lot of people vote for party lines. I'm a Democrat. My whole family's Democrat. We've been Democrats for 50 years. My family's Republican. I'm a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
But then now you have people now they vote based on agendas.
Right.
Is this agenda going to fill my need? Is these cutting these taxes going to help my business? Are these and most of the people you see on TV talking for Trump are business owners, small businesses, owners of businesses. Why? They want the tax breaks. They want all the shit that he got. They want to use all that shit. That's how they're getting their money. They want to, you know what I mean? Real estate developers. They want to do all the building. Houses is going up. All that shit. Right? That's what they want. That's who's going to vote for them. Now, if you black, I mean, if you from New York and you black, you already knew who Trump was.
Right.
Know? We already knew who the fuck he was. Like,
right.
So, you know, the rest of the world, they may have had a taste of him. And, you know, you look around, yeah, he said idiot shit, but a lot of the shit he say and tweet and all that shit, he think this is a reality show. This is like a reality show to him. It's all a game.
It's a game.
You let a motherfucker in the house, put him in the White House, and gave him the keys to know where everything is at, where all the money, all the people around him, all the information, putting his people in place to get all the money and make deals for his family for the rest of their life.
He did that.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing business. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his business. In Asia, he got shit set up with Russia. He got shit. You know, that's why the other night when he was doing the town hall and they asked him about did he owe foreign banks, he's like, oh, I don't know. I don't remember about it. I don't even know who I owe. I don't know who I owe that money to. Of course he's not going to say that shit I owe that shit because somebody, if you owe a foreign bank 48 or whatever fucking amount of millions he owe, they can use that leverage against you because you owe them money and you a president. But
right.
nobody told you know what I'm saying? Instead of being mad, right? Instead of being mad at what I used to do, why you motherfuckers ain't mad at these motherfuckers that you have in office right now? Pelosi, Maxine Waters.
They're the worst.
All these Schumer and all these motherfuckers in there.
He's horrible.
All these Republicans y'all done voted in, robbing from the country blind, stealing everything, hooking shit up.
All geriatric too. Been there forever.
He's probably being controlled by some foreign government, destroying the fabric of this country, right? And nobody's saying, they tried to impeach him, but they couldn't impeach him. Like, once again, you knew you couldn't do it, so it was just a show. It was all showtime shit.
Nancy Pelosi is 80 years old. 80.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we talking about, though, son. You got a 77-year-old running against a 74-year-old.
Maxine Waters is 82.
Come on, son. That's what I'm saying. It's time for a new guard. It needs changes. These motherfuckers. So when people is like, yeah, this is he's better than this and that. I'm in politicians for 40, 50 years.
Chuck is gonna be 70.
Who?
Chuck Schumer is gonna be 70.
Oh, I'm saying though, he's been in office. These are lifetime politicians that's been there forever. They've been in at least 30 years. And then people we naming, Pelosi been there like 30, 40 years. Waters over 25 years at least. Schumer been in there for about 30 years.
Schumer got in 93. Yeah.
93.
Yeah.
We was in jail. Finishing up, you was gone probably by then.
Yeah, but
I was just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 93. That was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago, bro. So these people been in there and it's been the same bullshit constantly. It hasn't been no real change. You know what I'm saying? And here you go. But now they want you to believe that Joe Biden is going to all of a sudden miraculously made a change because he did his little townhouse and his little town hall. And it's like, oh yeah, I made a mistake. Now they tell you to own up to this shit. Now they want you to own up to to the bill you wrote that locked motherfuckers up for years. Now you want to talk about you going.
Oh right, because Clinton did it first. Because Clinton came out a couple of months ago and apologized for his role. I was like, well, all right, we know your role. You signed it. We know that part. Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because I had read this article, right? And the shit it infuriated me, because I thought about a lot of the things that we had talked about just in general. We always talk about making connections and putting puzzle pieces together. So you're talking about the 1994 crime bill, right? Which was endorsed by a lot of people, the Congressional Black Caucus, Bernie Sanders, Biden. It was a lot of crime going on. Crack was crazy, but the bigger picture here is more prisons started getting built.
Yeah, but why? Why were they getting built?
To lock up drug addicts or people that was.
And why was they wanting to do that?
To incarcerate black people and take their 13th Amendment freedoms.
Yeah, but they used our own people to do it though, son. Because the people beg for them to do something. So they like, oh, you want us to do something? Or we gonna form a bill and we gonna get these motherfuckers, we gonna start locking their asses up. Right? That's why.
Put your mic closer.
Sorry about this. So basically, we begged for a bill, we begged for action to get the people, and then they did it. They wrote a bill, then they started locking motherfuckers up. Now here we are 30 years later saying why you wrote that bill and y'all signed it. But when the crack epidemic was hitting, black people was begging. It's like when black people was begging when David Dinkins was in office and mayor in New York. Like, people was mad at him. To the point now, you begged for somebody stronger in New York. Well, here comes Rudy Giuliani, and he cleaned it up, ran everybody the fuck out of New York. Right?
Yep.
So they use it. When you ask, don't ask for shit, and then turn around 30, 40, 30 years later and say, look what happened. You asked us to do something. We did. And
Picture the irony, man.
They found a way, but when they do something for you, they find a way to make money for themselves and their partners and their crimies. You understand? It's not like they doing something to help the situation. They doing something to make money because this is a business.
Right.
You understand? So here we go. You know what I'm saying? So when you start hearing people talking about, well, you know, Joe, he wrote the bill because crack was popping. The shit was tearing the streets up all over the country. Right?
Yep.
Now when you see all these, today I was looking at a lot of the candidates in Georgia and all that, who's running and what they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are they talking about? Now all them, they're telling you what they're going to do. Well, we're going to help the opioid crisis. We're going to get bills for the opioid crisis and shit.
And
like
who
that.
You think is on that?
Exactly. But what I'm saying is that, so now when they make these new laws for the opiate shit and they start locking motherfuckers up, but see, they ain't going to make it as strict like they made for crack because crack was being sold by blacks. Opioid pills is being sold by anybody. They could be black, white, anybody can sell you pills.
They rehabbing folks now. They ain't even
they
trying to jail them.
Yeah, they're not giving you no time for only if you caught selling the pills,
right,
stealing the prescriptions and shit like that.
Yep.
But if you on it, you an addict, so you a
drug addict.
They getting you help. You know what I'm saying?
They're not locking you up because you holding.
They was locking
packages.
Crack addicts up.
Yeah, for holding five dimes. They putting them in jail for 20 years.
Niggas in Virginia, they was giving niggas life.
It was.
They was giving motherfuckers life in Virginia for
being a drug addict. Basically,
if they caught them with like 3-4 vials.
If you had 3-4 vials, which somebody could buy 3-4 vials for personal use.
25 to life for having that on you. And
yeah.
With it. You understand?
Absolutely.
So
scary.
Now all those people in jail are coming home now, right?
Yeah.
They coming home now. And what y'all coming home, we did y'all wrong, we're going to give y'all the right to vote so we can let me get a chance to recorrect it. We're going to get y'all a chance to vote. Now they want
is that here yet? I heard about it in Florida. I don't know about it in New York yet.
I don't know. Every state is gradually doing it.
Oh, they need to federalize it then and stop bullshitting.
Well, that's what Biden is talking about. That's why he's apologizing and saying that he would now. They're gonna legalize weed, and on the federal level, they're gonna get, if you had a weed charge, they're gonna knock all that shit off.
Right.
Get that shit wiped out because it was wrong and da. That's all. I mean, but once again, those are just words.
Empty words at that.
Empty words.
Because they knew it. They knew exactly what time it was. Let me give you the numbers though. I read this article and it was just it's on Daily Mail. So when you read articles that's outside of the U.S., you know what I'm saying, you get a better perspective.
You get a different perspective.
You know what I mean? Which is good. That's why I encourage people to watch other channels like BBC and shit like that. But all right, it started off. This is a bullet point. Most American states spend more on their prisons than they do on education. And California is the worst. They invest $64,642 per prisoner compared to $11,495 per student, a $53,146 difference in spending priorities. The reasons include an incarceration rate that has tripled over the past 3 decades, the higher cost of caring for people in prisons 24 hours a day, and a higher number of workers required to operate a prison. New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Rhode Island round out the top states spending more on prisons than they do schools. So let me give you New York. New York is number 2. Since Cali is number 1, New York is number 2. They had the second largest gap. They spend $22,366 per student, and they spend. Wow, I need to update that in my book because I said the kids was worth 17,000. Shit, they worth 22. Gotta up it 5K, baby.
Mm-hmm.
They spend $69,355 per inmate, so that's a difference of $46,989. Let's just start there. The past 3 decades, the prison industry has boomed, tripled in the inmates. You know, at any time in American history, there are more people, more black people locked up than at any time in American history, including slavery. Okay? So when we look at these numbers and we go, okay, drugs have been a part of the equation forever. Like this country was built on drugs. Okay? And the manufacturing and the distributing. You know, we have people that are walking around like blind to those facts. When you go to the doctor, those are the legalized drug pushers, especially in today's age. Like, they have a drug for you. Or you have a symptom, we have a drug. Or you have a pain, we have a drug. You know, it might kill your kidney and your liver, but it might get rid of this symptom. Like, they telling you what it is. So when you get to the point where you building more prisons than you building schools, and you telling people that there's a school to prison pipeline, how do you get so much redirection away from that conversation? I think that that's very important when you look at the crime bill, which is, been out there since 1994, and people are basically just coming home off of 25-year sentences for like bullshit possession charges, where meaning possession like intent to use. Like, yeah, maybe you had crack on you. You had crack. But if you had cocaine on you, the same amount of cocaine that you had crack, you was getting less time. And they praise Obama from dropping the 100-to-1 ratio, down to 18. It's still a disparity. Cocaine and crack it comes from the same drug. It's just broken down. You could argue that crack is actually less potent than pure cocaine because crack is mixed with other shit.
Yeah.
Cocaine is just cocaine. Pure. But if you could walk around with the pure, $100 of pure won't get you, that might get you a year, right? But if I got $100 of crack, I'm going to get 18 years? That shit don't make sense.
You're going to get looking at 18 joints.
And that's just for minimum. So you're talking about $100 worth of crack, which is, what is that, 20 vials? I guess, if they nix. I'm just saying. So when you look at the prison industry and you're talking about, you can't apologize for that. Like, you have to. You have to because you're running, because your record is getting checked. Yeah. Kamala Harris' record is getting checked. You locked up mad black men at a disparate rate, and a lot of it was weed charges. And then I read another article where, because we talk about, there's like pedophilia out here. They bring it to the news every now and then, but they keep that shit under wraps. They don't want to talk about the missing children and where they go, and nobody wants to talk about that shit. Okay, but it's happening and it's going on. So there was a case that came before Harris where it was testimony that could have helped out the victims of sexual abuse. She did not present that evidence. So if you don't present that evidence, then what are you doing? I'm asking you, brother, when you hear that, what are you doing? Are you helping the pedophile? Are you helping the person who abused and sexually abused a person when you don't present evidence that could be used against the predator, right? So if you're doing shit like that, how can we overlook that? Like me, I'm looking at you like, how could you withhold evidence that could bring charges or bring down the person who sexually abused somebody? Like, you fucking up the victims' lives for what? To protect your... I don't know why. I'm just asking. To protect your record? And like, this is getting swept under the rug? People are going to jail, and they can be free. They're innocent. They can be free if you present this evidence right here. You withhold it. You try to block it, and then you block people from getting compensation that were wrongly jailed, and then the only reason you backed off is because of pressure that came from another angle, and this is who you trust? This is who we supposed to rock with? Three Strikes Joe? Yeah, and Kamala Harris? And Joe is 80 years old. I'm not saying that at 80 you don't have your faculties, but he clearly doesn't have all his faculties, okay? Because I know some sharp 80-year-olds. Biden ain't one of them, okay? Nope. Not from how he presents himself. So, I thought about, what we talked about earlier. Like, okay, maybe they will, let Harris rock and be president. Yeah, because they could control her. Is that a win? Is that a win, ladies? Black women. Sororities, is that a win for y'all, a.k.a.? Oh, yeah, our sister's in the White House. Your sister is American Indian, okay? Meaning she's born in California, but she's Indian, from India. Yeah, she went to Howard, no doubt. She knows the culture. Culturally, she's black. There's no denying that whatsoever. However, as far as ethnicity is concerned, as far as nationality is concerned, she is not a black person. But I just needed to put that out there. None of that even matters now, but they're saying we got to get Trump out of office. I get that. The man didn't take the office seriously, but who has? He just up there doing what he do. How, whatever that is. But I'm talking about holding people accountable for the shit that they did. Now, when you lock up black people at a disparate rate, you should be held accountable. I didn't give a fuck about a Bernie Sanders neither, because he co-wrote the 94 crime bill with Joe Biden. So I wasn't going to endorse him either. He ain't had no wins. His voting record, you could see that, you're a racist too, Bernie. You borderline. You out there acting like, yeah, because I marched with King. King had racists around him? You fucking kidding me? The government killed King. That was proven. People just ignore shit because it don't fit with what they trying to get across. So you want to be emotional. Oh, get Trump out. All right, get him out. Then what? What we gonna do for 4 years?
Exactly.
What we gonna do for 8 years? What we gonna do?
About get him out, and then we'll deal. Then we'll address the issues.
We know the issues.
We know the issues.
We just talked about an issue right fucking here. We talked about in New York City. You spend $69,000 per inmate, 22 on a student. That's a fucking mismanagement of funds if you ever could imagine. You talking really $22,000 per student? Mm-hmm. And we talking averages, okay? Because in my hood, in my area, I'm pretty sure it's closer to the other end. Probably about 16. 16, 17 per student, because those is aggregate numbers on the average. 22,000. Okay, but you build 3 times as more prisons than you did schools over the course of the last 30 years, and ironically running the same time frame as the crime bill. Why? You think you think it's a coincidence? I know it's not a coincidence. We're not walking around deaf, dumb, and blind. All we trying to do is present info to the people so they can wake up, but they don't want to be woke. They want to live what they want to live. Emotional, bullshit-driven lifestyles. That's it. You don't really want no change, because change requires being uncomfortable. Changing your whole way of living, changing your whole way of eating. We're not going to get into the health, none of that. We're just dealing with, right now, you got candidates out there, and I'm not even dealing with third-party candidates right now because, in reality, we could push through a third-party candidate if people wasn't so locked in on being a Democrat or a Republican, because the Republic is supposed to be the people. And then the Democrats and the Republicans is the same party. The Democrats of today was the Republicans 200 years ago. So what the fuck is the difference? Are we that stupid? Time has shown that, drugs over a period of time passed down through the lineage and running through the population. I guess it does dumb people down because we got some stupid motherfuckers out here. People was getting locked up for weed, and cocaine and all of that back then for the users who you thought was drug dealers. A lot of them was using, You took them down, and now you're gonna treat the people who are on opioids. You're treating them now because a lot of them that's on it is Caucasian. You know, you find out shit once you start doing research. You find out shit that the majority of the people who are on food stamp benefits and things of that nature are Caucasian people. If you go state by state and you look at it like, oh, but you try to paint the narrative that, oh, it's the brothers, we the problem, we the drug addicts, we the criminals. You look at the crime stats. The majority of the violent crime is done by Caucasian folks. And then when you start looking at the numbers, the real numbers, black on black crime, as they try to say, that's really 40%. Now, granted, black on white crime is 80%. Now, I think there's a justification for why that might be, but they try to put the spin on it. But then white on white crime is 84%. So they killing themselves for sure. White on black crime is very low, more like 39%. So they're not really trying to hurt us, but the numbers say that we trying to hurt them. But they try to say like we kill each other at a high rate when our numbers suggest that it's 40% on each other, 80% on them. And they're still killing themselves at an 84% clip, and they're on drugs, and they commit violent crimes. And they're in power inside of the the Senate and the Congress, and then you got all of these elderly people in there. And I have nothing against the elderly, but it's time to go. It's time for the new blood. So I don't mind AOC and that crew, stepping up. They're very young, they're 30s. Like, okay, that's a bit much, but at least it's young blood. You know what I mean? But we don't have a balance there. We thinking, oh, Chuck Schumer is an old head. He is. He's been there since 93. He's 60. He's going to be 70 years old this year. That's elderly. Last time I checked. So we don't have a lot of people in that age range, 40 to 60. AOC and them is like the future because they young. They like 30. But they digging up dirt on all of them too. They shitting on them. You talking about one that married her brother. The one that's from I forgot the state. This state, Minnesota. They put dirt out there on her. AOC was a barista. She was a waitress, putting shit out there on her. They just try to shit on people. That's the narrative. That's what the media is there for. But they never put these numbers up. They never deal with these facts. The prison industry is booming. And I ain't mad at Ice Cube. Now that we brought it full circle, I'm not mad at Ice Cube because shit, he at least put it out there. I mean, yeah, he's in the media, he's an entertainer, he's not a politician. Nobody ever said he was. Nobody ever said that he was, but he put it out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. I mean, from the beginning, all he's been saying is that he's just looking to start the dialogue, have a conversation, let them know that this is what is needed to be done, and who's going to meet that, because we need, and this way you can start weeding out who we need, who we know is our allies, and who's not, as far as to push these bills through or trying to get this done, where we, part of a plan that's set forth. Now, is his plan is his plan the greatest? I'm not saying that his plan neither is the greatest. His contract, his plan, whatever you want to call it, it may need, but he's not a politician. My thing to Ice Cube with what I would say is, have you sat down with Power Nami's dude? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Somebody
Dr.
like
Claude Anderson, no doubt.
Like, have you sat down and
I think he has, because he had an interview with Dr. Boyce Watkins, and Boyce Watkins and Claude Anderson always do a weekly show. Yeah, you know what I mean.
So I mean, like, if you're getting advice and counsel and consulting and counseling from a guy like that, then that's that goes a long way too. You know what I'm saying? And for solidifying your contract, your plan, your agenda, what you have to help your people, right? So, I mean, we gonna have to talk to whoever to bar to because it's a negotiation we in for our life. So we're negotiating with whoever's in power. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna not negotiate. We're gonna start negotiating right now with suppose Trump win. Well, we want to be able to know that we're going to that you already took a step forward saying that you acknowledging my shit. So what you gonna do on it now? Now we can start putting your feet to this fire and saying more. Or what you gonna do? You said you talk that shit. What you gonna do? Are you gonna lie and say you don't remember it again? Da da da. You know, by Joe Biden and them saying we'll talk to you at the election. What if you lose? What are we gonna talk about then? What's there to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
What if you lose? If you lose, what are we going to talk about then? What's the Republic? Where's the Democratic Party going to talk about to black people then? Huh?
You had to go to both sides. You got to go to the person in power. Come on.
You got to talk to both parties. You got to talk to both people and lay out your and see what it is. I'm like, y'all get caught up in Twitter shit and all this shit and act like, oh man, this shit is like, he Ice Cube's a sellout, and I know it. He's in Hollywood, and he sold out when he went to Hollywood, and you went to go see his movies, right? You paid money to see them shits, Then I tell you, before I get on, I see my man say something to me like, well, he was down with, he was doing business with Steve Bannon, he's been in business with him, so he's always been down with Trump. I'm like, now, see, there you go. That's
a reach.
But that's not even a reach. It's that you putting out bad if you saying things and running with it like that's a fact. And he was in business with a dude. His partner for the Big Three was in business with Bannon. I don't see Bannon doing no business with no black man.
In a law firm.
Exactly, but I don't see Bannon doing no business with a black man. You know what I'm saying?
No, you won't.
You won't. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if you're gonna tell a story, tell it right. Don't twist it to make it your narrative to make it seem like that Steve Bannon was part of one of the Big Three. He had nothing to do with that shit.
Absolutely false.
Exactly. He had nothing to do with that shit. He knew the dude who was involved in it, and then it turns out that Ice Cube and the other guy had investors from Quartier, and they was investing like $11 million or something into the Big Three. But the only reason they were doing that was because the dude that the partner, Ice Cube's partner in the Big Three, they knew he was friends with Bannon, who at the time was in the White House. So they were trying to get political favors by putting that money in and trying to use the partner to get to Bannon. You know what I'm saying? So a lawsuit came, everybody suing everybody, but nowhere in the lawsuit nowhere in the reason does it say Steve Bannon was a partner with Ice Cube in running the Big Three. So what you're saying is not true, but you're willing to run with that narrative to prove, so you can have a say and prove a point. Or he was out there talking about hold the vote. Well, son, he was saying hold the vote because our vote is I keep saying our vote is power, but y'all want to give it away for free.
Word.
Y'all keep talking about our vote is power, but you want to give it away for free with nothing, for nothing. You want to give our vote away for free. You know what I'm saying? So now it comes to the point where, like, when other motherfuckers now is like, you know what? Fuck all this shit. Fuck all this political shit. Get money. That's all we can do. Get money. Build your businesses, get your money, and start doing it like the Chinese and the Asian communities do it, and the Jewish communities do it. Look at the Jewish community. They giving New York City fits right now. They can't control them motherfuckers because they not willing to wear masks. They gonna celebrate their holidays in the streets. Don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
They don't give a fuck. Como using cold words. Oh, we got these areas are hot spots. No, say what it really is, motherfucker. Say it, because if it would say that it's the Jewish community areas that's refusing, and you're seeing spikes in their area, but you're scared to say that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand that part either. Like, why are you afraid to say that shit?
Cause they put them in. They come on. You know who run the town? They
no
just
doubt.
head figures. You know who run the town.
And well, ain't he on his way out anyway? Say what you gotta say.
Yes, and you don't know what he want. He gonna
he got aspirations.
Yeah, he got aspirations. You gonna want to carry New York if you run when you make your run for president.
Right.
Because remember we spoke about that.
We did.
We said, why wouldn't he if he wanted to, he was getting touted so much doing all these interviews all day for COVID. He didn't want to be down with Joe Biden. He didn't want to attach his name to Joe Biden.
I wouldn't either.
He didn't want that. He didn't want to be his running mate. He wanted the big show to himself, baby.
Right. I can see that.
He wanted the big show to himself.
I understood that angle wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted the big show to himself. So, so if he ain't trying to step on no toes or nothing like that. He trying to, make it seem like there's more areas. But the article said, that it was mainly Jewish community areas in the city that those spikes were going up in because they're basically just refusing to wear masks. They're like, fuck it, we don't want to do that shit.
In mass gatherings, yeah.
Yeah, like they're in the middle of the streets, partying, celebrating weddings, celebrating their holidays, all kind of shit. Police ain't running down on them. Where the police at? Where the union at? Why y'all not out there? Why they not out there with the batons and the dogs and shutting shit down with the tanks coming through? Huh? Why they not out there, son? You know why? Because all the motherfuckers in office is being run by them. They scared. De Blasio, police chief, Como, all of them. They scared. If that shit was Spanish Harlem, there'd have been tanks out there. If that shit was Brooklyn, and I mean if it was like Brooklyn and Brownsville area, you're gonna have tanks out there. If they was out in the middle of the street gathering, if Puerto Rican and Dominicans was out there celebrating and doing their thing, doing with the celebration the Jewish community was having on those videos I seen, that shit would not be tolerated. It would not be tolerated. They would have ran down on them with no problem. Because they'd have told you, they'd have been out there, yo, you don't got a mask on in this big gathering, we writing you a ticket, $50 fine. $50 fine, because that's the law, right? $50 fine, you don't got no mask on in public spaces and mass transportations and shit like that. They was out there in a big gathering, and they was on video, and they didn't have no mask on talking shit.
Yeah, talking big shit.
Talking big shit. Girl was filming them. They was like, get out of here. We ain't wearing no mask. She was like, why y'all not wearing masks? Y'all just making me scared. She was like, they was looking at her like, man, get out of here. I ain't hear that shit. We doing what we want to do. This us. We amongst each other. We gonna take care of our own.
That's facts.
That's facts, right?
That's how they walking around.
That's how they walking around. That's how they walking around. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we out here giving away our shit for free with no power and nobody showing no respect to us, no love. We at the bottom of the barrel. We at the bottom of the polls. We everywhere. We treated like shit.
Hey, the Asian vote is very low, by the way.
They definitely don't give a fuck because they keep to their own and they spend their money amongst each other.
Yeah, so
they money strong.
They ain't going out and voting. I mean, not at the level that we have been.
No.
And they seem to be doing okay.
Why?
They're doing way better than us.
Because they own their areas and
mm-hmm.
they the businesses. They only you ever seen it? You seen an Asian man come to Harlem to go buy something? Huh?
Not at all.
No, he gonna go right in his community and buy that shit, or get them to order it for him and call them when they get it. Meanwhile, we go into their community. We go into Chinatown. We go in there to go spend money. We go down to the Diamond District. We go to Delancey. We go spend money with the Jews.
Yep.
We go, you know what I mean? We go everywhere, spend money. The local bodegas run by Dominicans, whoever, Puerto Ricans, whoever. Spend money with them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We spend money with everybody. We spend money with the Arabs. We spending money with the Indians. We spend money with everybody. Ain't nobody spending no money with us. Ain't nobody coming to Brownville to go buy nothing. Ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody doing that.
No. They
where they going? Where they going?
They going to cop their drugs. They getting drugs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I haven't lived in New York in a while, but to my recollection, I don't remember. I don't remember. And I don't know anybody who said that that's going on. You know what I'm saying? They're not coming to Flatbush Avenue to buy done from those stores ain't owned. You know, I mean, you might have a couple of mom and pop stores, on Flatbush, but a lot of that shit is Jewish owned stores, Asian owned stores. You know?
On Flatbush Avenue of all places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
you got East European motherfuckers owning stores.
True.
You spending money with them. You spending money with Arabs. You spending money with Indians. You spending, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't spending no money with your own really, unless you going into a Jamaican store and go buy a beef patty or something.
Right.
Or you going in a Jamaican or Caribbean restaurant and spending money with them. That's it. Other than that, you know, you may have, like I said, there's just a few stores. There's a few stores because there's an IHOP, I believe, or there's an IHOP in Brooklyn over there near Flatbush and Church, and I was told that a black dude owned this, a dude I went to school with in Nazareth. That's what I was told. I'm not sure, but my man told me that that's who he owns. That he owns a chain of IHOPs, and he was able to get that there. So
that's what's up.
Cool. That's dope. That's dope. But that's how all the stores should be. It should be all our shit, because that's who lived there.
Yeah, it should be reflective of the neighborhood that you in. Yeah, that exactly.
You should have Chase Bank and Bank of America on every corner and taking our money. We should have our own banks in those corners, in those spots.
Mm-hmm.
Just like everybody else got it when you go to the hood. You come out here in Georgia, there's a part it's called Norcross. And it's a lot of, it's Mexicans and South Americans. They got their own banks and shit over there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where they go when they get their checks. They go right in there and cash their shits. They go right to their cash checking spots. They ain't cashing that shit nowhere else. They keeping the money in their hood.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's what we not doing that. We not doing that. No matter how many times you tell people that, they still won't do that. Like, you want economic power? Only way you're going to get economic power is to stop using your power with them. All right, we not fucking with y'all no more. We going to hold our money. How long we been saying that, son? Hold your fucking money. If you stop spending your fucking money, you couldn't get motherfuckers to break out football.
Word.
They were still spending their money. You can't get motherfuckers to tell they black kids, stop going to these fucking PWI.
PWI. Mm-hmm.
Stop going to them shits. Stop going to them BW institutions. Take your ass somewhere else. We ain't going to spend our money. We ain't going to do it. Nah, he got to get to the league. He got to get to the league. If you nice, you going to get to the league regardless.
No matter where you go.
No matter where you go. Come on. Prime time, Deion Sanders took a job at HBCU.
Yep.
He's out here recruiting big time in the cats. Like, come to fuck with me.
Yeah.
Now, if he pulls that off and get athletes down there, that's going to be major.
Mm-hmm.
If he start getting top athletes,
he's going to be the new Grambling.
If he can get he going to, more than likely, he'll probably get his own son to be his quarterback because he's a top recruit coming out.
Right.
You know? And he can encourage more to come. You know?
As quiet as kept, HBCUs produce a lot of NFL players.
They do.
A lot of people don't know that.
They do. But the thing is, people are caught up in the matrix. They believe I got to go to Alabama. They on TV every week. I got to go to the SEC. They on TV. They got their own network. They on TV every week. I got to go to the Big Ten. I got to go to Ohio State. I got to go to Clemson. I got to go here. Can't go to these places.
Right.
I got to get on TV. I got to be seen. Man, you're going to be seen no matter what. If you're nice, they're going to find you. They're going to find you if you're nice. You're going to go to you going to go to their senior bowls and all that shit and go up against top talent. And if you show out, they're going to take notice and draft you. Bottom line. Bottom line. That's all it is. You know what I mean? You got to have faith in your ability and your skill. You know, just because a lot of these cats, they went to these big name schools. They get to the NFL, they be duds. They be duds.
No
you
doubt.
Came from a top-notch program, but you a dud. You injury prone because they use the hell out of you. Your knees ain't no good because they work the hell out of you. They playing, whether you playing battle, you playing damn near 100 games in college. They be playing you so damn much with tournaments and this and that and traveling and football. They playing you when you getting in once a week, and you playing like come on. If you really scared of COVID, here's Nick said, you was tested positive for it, but here you were on the sideline coaching. You suppose you gonna be there to coach the game?
A week later.
Yeah. Less
than a week.
Trump, I got COVID. I was good in 3 days. I'm back on my feet 3 days.
Right.
Like I said, it's all political. It's all entertainment to him. This is all fun and games to him. It's all fun and games to him. You know what I'm saying?
So how Nick Saban get better in a week?
Come on, son. Come on. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
This shit is funny, man.
But yeah, y'all telling motherfuckers running around, yo, wear your mask, wear your mask. Why you ain't telling them, yo, fuck it, man, we don't even need to play. Let's shut this shit down if y'all that scared.
If it's as serious as I think that it is, as what you saying it is, then you should have not had no NBA finals. There shouldn't have been no MLB. There should be no football. Like fuck all that. Shut the country down. And let the essential people or whatever it is, people work from home, and let that shit rock. Let it dissipate. You know what I mean? Like let it do what it do.
No, but see, once again, as we said before, you go back and listen to our shows. We've said this plenty of times. We understand it's about the money. We understand that these states are businesses inside a corporation, so they can't afford to be shut down because that's going to bankrupt their states. But at the same time, you've done bankrupt a lot of businesses, mom and pop businesses.
And the corporations that survive.
And all you've given them is $1,200.
Right.
And now they bagging all you motherfuckers who lied for them PPP loans.
Yep.
Like
they're coming at you.
Let me give you a little hint. They audit all that shit.
They coming for you.
They gonna audit all that money. If you got money and your shit ain't on the up and up, you even better get it back up and get it back to them. Tell them you made a mistake, and you don't want no smoke with them, because let me tell you, they gonna start throwing. They coming. They auditing all that money. They catching all you motherfuckers. All these motherfuckers getting caught. All these motherfuckers, they was slick. Yeah, I got businesses. I got 20. You're gonna have to prove that.
Word.
You gotta prove that when they run the audit. Where's your, dude got one of these singer dudes got bagged for $24 million. He
Right.
was getting loans all over the place. Come on, idiot. What do you think, this is a game? You think
That's
the
what
government just give
they
you think
walking
they
around
give
acting like it's a game. Yeah.
so you think the government give you money for free? You think they just give you money and they not checking on that shit? They checking on that shit, bro.
Dudes is crazy, man.
They checking on it. That's why the people who got the loans that said, "Oh, it's no payback," you good. You ain't got to worry about it. But all they gave them was like a couple G's. Here's 1,000. Here's 2,500.
Yeah.
That was it. But you motherfuckers who was filing them loans talking about you had small businesses and you had 30 people on payroll and you needed to keep your payroll going and you needed a loan on that payroll for this, and this. No.
They dumb. Like that's that was the PPP loan.
Yeah.
People are stupid, man. They coming for you because you committed fraud.
Exactly.
You know?
And
that's
what you
fraud.
think? And what you think? They coming for you, son. They auditing that shit. Every week you start hearing more and more motherfuckers getting caught. Oh, this person got caught. He was lying on it. He said he took out PPP loans for this, and this. Man, they coming for you, bro. They coming for you. Them businesses better be on the up and up. Like motherfucker was like, yo, B, you need to get one of them PPP loans. Y'all motherfucker. I'm like, I ain't got no employees. I don't need that shit.
Word.
I don't want nothing to do with that shit.
We know so much about the business world that we know better than to dive into some trending bullshit. Like that's the one thing you gotta learn. And when you are entrepreneur, you learn the rules of the game.
Yeah.
You just do, because there ain't no out for you. So you gotta learn what's good, what's bad, what choices to make. And it's unfortunate right now that there are people that only got $1,200, and right now it's being held up in the Senate basically by Nancy Pelosi, because she's in charge, 80-year-old woman who don't give a fuck about you. It ain't just her, but but she's the face of it holding you up. So, check out the balance though, Rob. They talking about 2.4 trillion, right? Versus 1.8 trillion. Come on. You holding up somebody's check for 600 million? And people have been waiting for what is this? We going into November. They
got them checks in
COVID.
They got them checks in April.
Well, really March. First weekend, end of March. Early April.
Nah, they got them in April. They was getting them in
so that's what, month 4.
Second, third week of April.
So, so that's April. We're going into November. And you're not getting it in November. So we just saying, let's just say 7 months. 1,200 divided by 7 is not a lot of money.
But yet, you out here talking about giving your vote away for free.
Yeah, basically.
With no promises. With nothing in writing and nothing saying this, that, and the third. All it is telling you that you want to get rid of Trump. Okay.
Let me put it out there. I'm going to say with this, every brother ain't a brother, right? I get that. I understand it. All of that, right? But I don't view Ice Cube like that. You know what I'm saying? And just on you know what it is? On the strength.
Like that neither.
I don't view him like that. He a brother. Listen.
Feel no way.
I feel no way about Ice Cube.
I don't feel no way about what he did, because I heard him say that months before this even came out, that he was going to sit down, ever wanted to talk to him.
He did. He been said that.
Because we don't have, our problem is not just one party problem, it's both of them. Right? Our problem is with both of them. It's not just one.
Yeah, it's the same party. We know they flip flop.
We need to talk to both people. We need to talk to both sides.
The one that might win and the person that's in. You gotta go both sides. You
gotta go see what they willing to offer.
Yeah.
You gotta see what they putting on the table.
So maybe they did appease you a little bit. They implemented some of the things. Not implemented, excuse me. They put some of the things you said into their plans. Okay, they did. Both sides. That's fine. You know
That's
what I mean?
fine.
Like that's not being a sellout though. You know what I mean? Like that's just being a
Shit.
businessman. But you know,
I mean,
on a deeper level though, I could never call that man a sellout. One, the man got a black wife and black children. Okay, so let's start there. All right, Kamala Harris got a corky husband, and they look Caucasian children. Okay, so I'm not gonna don't get me started on the who's the sellout and who's not. Okay, you know what I mean? I had a
I'm
few
sure his
debates
birth.
online about that
I'm
shit.
sure his birth certificate say African American, black, whatever it is.
Whatever, yeah, whatever you want to call us, black, this, whatever. I know for a fact that man's wife is black. He got children with a black woman. Okay, so yeah, people say it don't matter. Yo, it does matter for preservation. Yeah, survivalists will adapt. Yes, you survive and adapt. You want to make babies out of the race, go ahead, survive and adapt. I get it. But if you want to preserve your own race, that's why they don't encourage going outside of it. You know what? You know what's crazy? There's a Klansman right now listening in some fucking way out backwood. He said, I agree with that nigger because he's right. You preserve your race. You stay with your own.
Come on.
They
I mean,
listening out there.
son, just think about it. Marcus Garvey, he met with the Klan.
You meet with them.
He
You
met
do.
with the Klan, and the Klan and him came to an agreement. Yeah, we agree that we shouldn't say that we shouldn't mingle with our people shouldn't mingle with one another. And it wasn't it wasn't a fight. It was just a conversation, and basically, you know, that's what it
Mutual
was. Like
respect.
mutual. I'm pro black, you pro white. My people, we don't want to mingle with your people. Okay, we don't want to mingle with your people. Okay, we good then. We good. We don't got to do nothing. We understand each other. We come to understand, and we don't have to like each other, but we understand, respect each other's viewpoint, and we're going to move on. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Fred Hampton. He met with the Klan in Chicago or wherever it was, Milwaukee or wherever it was. Same thing. We don't want we don't want integration. We don't want to mingle with you. We neither do we. Okay. I thought y'all wanted to bust to our schools. No, we don't. Okay, fuck it then. We don't want to fuck. We thought y'all wanted to come. No, we don't want to come to your shit neither. We don't want to fuck with y'all neither. Like the feeling is mutual. You understand? But so it's not. To say that is to say that as long as you know your enemy and you know what he wants and he know what you want, you can get shit done because it's going to be to keep you away and to keep them away. So Ice Cube cannot just be like, I'm going to be with the Republicans. No, because you're going to still have Democrats in office, and you're going to have to deal with them too for these laws and for these changes. It's all hands on deck for these changes. We know who our enemy is. And we got to meet with our enemy so they can understand what our agenda is and what our plan is. And we need more people, instead of bashing the brother, get behind and help the brother. That's all. Help the brother. Instead of playing social media games and putting up your twisted versions of shit. Nah.
Right.
Help the brother. Where's the guidance at, bro? You know? Where's the guidance at? Help him? We don't need you to be on. We don't need to do talk shows. You don't need to be on your talk show. If you want to school him to the game or you want to help him with his plan, then you say that's a meeting that you have with him and go through and go over his plan and say, look, there may be flaws in it in this way, so you need to tighten it up here. You need to understand that these are loopholes right here. You need to understand what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Educate. No, we just want to bash because you don't agree with what we want you to do.
let's give them some more education. Since we was talking about education, I was reading some court cases. Because I was looked over Brown versus the Board of Education, because that's the one everybody talk about. 1954. Separate but equal, right? That's what they was coming into court. To basically to say that. Now, okay. So now you want to they did the desegregation thing. So now you're under the guise of, all right, well, we're going to ship these black kids to these white schools and vice versa. Well, they ain't really come to our schools, but we was fighting to get into theirs. That's a whole other podcast topic. So as I'm reading on, I'm looking at other decisions where you start talking about trying to make school districts spend money equally, when they get the state funds. So I came across this court case, San Antonio Independent School District versus Rodriguez. And they said that this is what they ended up ruling that education is not a constitutional federal interest, meaning that it's not a fundamental right. You don't have a fundamental right to education as it relates to finances of what school gets what amount of money. So just because school A got $50,000, that don't mean that school B is going to get $50,000. And it mostly, when you do shit like that, it mostly affects poor, communities, no matter what race lives in those poor communities. But that's what happened in that case. It was March 21st, 1973. The first and only equal protection case concerning school finance to be considered by a higher court to date. In 1973. So you always hear people talking about, oh, they need to have equal funding for schools and this and that. They've taken it to court, in the Supreme Court. They just like, nah, that's the state level thing. If the district want to spend $80,000 on this school right here, and they want to spend $20,000 on this school right here, so what? That's the state thing. That shit is real. Can't even be mad, like they putting it in your face.
Yeah.
Because you could have stayed separate. Who said the white school was good? You just under the impression that their ice is colder. Oh, it's better over there. Now, if you talking pure finance, like, they got amenities over there. That school, yeah. I saw this documentary 2 weeks ago. I was my niece. I was watching it with her, and it was about this school of the future. It's in Manhattan. It's across from the projects, across from Chelsea. Costs about $40,000 to go there per year.
Chelsea, what do you mean? Down in the village?
Yeah, the projects. Down by the Chelsea projects.
Oh, okay.
On like 18th Street. Like the school is on the corner.
Yeah,
and there's literally two worlds. You got the school that costs $40,000 a year, that's in the neighborhood, and then you got the projects that's right across the street where the median income is less than $30,000 a year. So you're talking about a world, or two different worlds, and they just see all of these kids going up into school, and they was just basically doing a documentary for the people that live in the neighborhood and the people that go to the school, and talked about the two different worlds. And even to this date, they couldn't put the building there unless they had some type of community involvement. And even to this date, like, you can apply to get into the school, but they haven't accepted anybody into the school from the community yet. And that's just how it is. When the area gets marked for gentrification, bring it up to value or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you start looking at the financial disparities that go on within the city, that's always any city. There's always going to be an issue there. There's two different worlds. You put a $40,000 a year school across from some projects. That building costs like, I want to say maybe $400 million. To finance and put up and all of that. And you put it in a community where the people that have been there, let's say they've been there 6-7 generations, they'll never see that. They'll never see 40 million in 6-7 generations with every family that lives there combined. But y'all put up a school institution here, and it's just there, bringing in money.
Mm.
You know, it's private. People rolling up in Benzes.
Hmm.
You know, Teslas. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. But I said all that to say that you want to be in their school because of the resources, right? But when you get there, you don't think about the flip side. It's not your culture. You're not really wanted there. You got affirmative action. You got all these different things that just work against you. And then if you are fortunate enough to be there, you got to excel academically as the highest standard that because you represent all black people, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
You are the black person,
Yeah. Because
you know.
they always
And
throw you in
can
one
you handle
spot.
that? You want that, but can you handle it? And you don't know. You putting that pressure on a child. Somebody, because, in the reality, in the real world, when you put children together from different cultures, they don't give a fuck about none of that race bullshit. I'm talking about when the younger you do it, the less likely they are to give a fuck. And then when they become teenagers, yeah, some of them have been taught to hate and this and that. But when teenagers come together from different cultures, they start to see like, yo, I've been taught bullshit. They go home mad. They mad at their parents. Like, this is not
Mm-hmm.
true. Yo, my friend is black. This is not what he does. Or my friend is from Arabia. He don't do this. Like, I mean, that's just what it is. Like the younger generation is being tired of being fed bullshit. Now, granted, they have to develop mentally, and that's going to be on them. But they need help doing it. Shit, we didn't develop on our own, so how can we expect them to do it? So when we put together this platform, it's like, well, shit, we're going to talk about it all: education, law, science, health, history. Shit, at least we're going to give them a foundation. We're going to talk some hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, at least we could give them a balance. Like, so when they come here, they go, all right, these brothers, now we not coming at you from the inside of the institutionalism. Like, no, we weren't in prison. And I don't, and you know what? Brothers get caught up. I get that. Like, I understand it. There are many people that have been in prison, so I don't have to go to prison. They taught those lessons. Yo, you don't want to be there. Trust me. Yo, you learn. You listen, you learn. That's a cliche, right? You think it's a cliche. It's not. You listen and you learn. You watch and you see. You know when to fall back. When they tell you to get the hell off the block, that means get the hell off the block. They mean that. They helping you. It ain't cool. You out here, you up in these streets. Yo, handgun, New York, minimum year.
Minimum 3 years.
I said
And a
minimum
half.
3. I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about for a minor. I'm talking about the youth now. I'm for an adult. You getting 3 off the rip.
3.5.
Because you 3.5. Because you know better. But the youth, you out here. You just gotta we people like this, like us. We got a couple of podcasters out there that do what we do. They just don't do it how we do it. But we all trying to do the same thing, if that makes sense. So this is our angle. We touching on all the parts of it, like what you need to survive in the real world. And lastly, I guess we definitely do business management, entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? And if anybody that has had a business and it didn't fail, then you didn't really have a business. because you had businesses that fail. Okay, for the as successful as the few that I do have that are successful, yeah, I got 2 or 3 that's like, shit, I couldn't even put into that shit if I wanted to, and it faded out on its own, and it is what it is. It wasn't the right time, whatever. The finances wasn't there, the people, or maybe just shit. You couldn't do it. You can't do nothing by yourself. That's another thing that we're gonna have to teach the youth. Yeah, it's heavy, but yo, look at life in a positive nature. Yeah, everybody's locked down basically in their different states. Can't really do much and all that shit. But look at the positives. There's positives in all this shit.
Yep.
Word. So I don't know, bro. I'm with Ice Cube. It's cool. You put it out there. You know. He's an entertainer. So, but at the same time, he's still a brother. he doing. At least he for his people. Like he went to both sides. That's what you're supposed to do. Let them see what you're talking about. And hey, they put it in their own plans. Okay, now live up to it. When if Biden and them win, all right, live up to it. Don't wait for it, because you already know who that is. Jim Crow
Yeah.
Joe.
Jim
You
Crow
already
Joe.
know who he is.
It ain't
You
gonna
know,
be, you know what I mean? So don't like
Hattie Mae Harris.
like,
Like,
like don't be surprised when he get there and and he doing the shit he been doing. Like, then he gonna start talking about, well, I didn't really say that.
right. Oh,
You know what I'm
and the
saying?
first order of business, don't worry. When Biden does win, first order of business is they're gonna lock down the country, because they already said that for the virus, for the mass. They're gonna lock it
Man,
down.
he was ifing and butting on his town shit because he was. That's a whole nother show. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna.
that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole
That's what
nother
I'm
show.
saying. Like
We'll
the
get
flip
back to
flop
you.
game is on.
Yeah,
They flip flop.
we gonna come back and we gonna break down everything before the elect. We gonna every week we gonna give you a different take on this elect, on what's coming up, because a lot of you just think you had the answer is to go out and just vote for this guy. Like, know who you voting for. Know, if you saying one devil's better than others, how well do you know these devils? Like, that's the thing, So you gotta know him well. So if you know what he does, then you gotta know how your plan is, how you gonna execute a plan to get what we need for our people out of him. Same thing with Trump and his people. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like, we gotta understand. We not studying. We not studying the devil correctly. We just taking it on face value and venting on social media and shit like that. They ain't reading your shit. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta motherfucking, you gotta take your people and be responsible for what you're doing, and find a way to make a dent in this shit, whether it's economically not, feeding their system, pulling out of their school system with your kids, funding, spending your money with more black businesses, things like that. Creating jobs for your own people, starting businesses and creating jobs for your people. Things like that. Well, that's how you build that's what everybody else do. They hire their own. That's what they do. Yeah, they may hire a couple here and there, but they only hire them when they go into their neighborhoods, because they need protection to make sure they know who the people are going in their stores.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? But we keep telling you, this is a business, man. This is a business, so y'all better start acting like business. I get it. Once again, don't get us wrong. We're not on here saying that we for Trump. We ain't for neither one of these motherfuckers, because we don't believe neither one of them. What we for is making sure our people have a better understanding of the system and how to move forward, going forward in this system, and how to start, pooling our power and using our power to get the shit we want like everybody else do. That's what we trying to do. And that's what we need to be doing. All that other shit is for the birds. Don't get caught up in these Hollywood motherfuckers. Don't get caught up in these athletes. Don't get caught up in they ain't. You gotta remember, they workers. Yeah, they get more money than you, but they workers. They need that. They need that. And they need the Hollywood to make another film. They need to be able to get jobs. They need to be on teams to get money. They workers. You understand? That's it. Somebody's paying them to do their job. So they just happen to be paying them more than what you make. No different than you being a worker.
Exactly.
So remember that. And you know what I mean, son? But on that note, son, we gave it to you. We gonna keep giving it to y'all, man. But it's for you to learn it and understand it. So on that note, What you got, bro? Let's get up out of here.
Yeah, I got nothing else. 2grumpymen.com. That's for the ebooks. Got some merch on there. You
Got
got
merch, got new merch.
thegrumpymen.com.
I have new merch coming soon. Yo, man, we just, this pandemic has been a mug. So, but we still grinding. So, you know,
We out here.
we out here, man. We out here, definitely. So,
yo, the 2 Grumpy Men, we out of here. Peace.
peace.